6:02. For decades, the CherryVale Mall has stood tall and as the place to go for shoppers in Rockford. Even as online shopping sales continue to skyrocket since the pandemic, mall officials say business there is booming. Leaders say their numbers, they actually grew in 2021 and were up more than 20% from 2019. They're also seeing more shops at the mall as their traffic through May of this year is up more than 10% from 2021. A mall spokesperson says the increase shows people appreciate the in-person shopping after COVID took that social experience away.
For so long during the pandemic, we didn't have access to that. We were all stuck in our homes. And when the malls reopened in mid-2020 and then throughout 2021, we saw significant increases in traffic and sales.
But many malls have a long financial road ahead. Hundreds are still struggling to keep their doors open. But will this increase in foot traffic and sales be enough for CherryVale Mall to survive? 13 Investigates' William Ingalls digs deeper for that answer.
CherryVale Mall in Rockford is like most malls. By that, they're usually the only game in town when it comes to giving shoppers access to dozens of stores all under one roof. But things are changing, with hundreds of malls across the country fighting tooth and nail just to keep their doors open.
When I first made that projection in 2014, there were over 1,200. I think there were 1,221, but hey, who's counting, enclosed malls in America. Today, there's less than 1,000, but there's still more than 900.
Jan Rogers-Niffen expects half of those remaining malls to also shut their doors. And he speaks from experience when it comes to retail. He's operated thousands of stores, including several malls.
And we built and operated 26 super regional malls. So if it was in retail, basically, I've been involved with it.
But during a time when the walls seem to be closing in on malls like CherryVale, Niffen says Rockford's mall is doing the right things, and its optimistic future isn't coming from something you would expect.
Do I think CherryVale, as an example, putting Tilt in is a good idea? Absolutely, because the biggest problem we have is getting you to the mall.
That's right. Experts say the big thing driving new traffic aren't typical anchor stores, but things like arcades and entertainment. Look at the crowd here on a Monday morning in July, a time when the mall usually doesn't have a lot of people in it. But the arcade had dozens of kids from a local summer camp in the doors spending money. However, this age group also demonstrates why entertainment isn't exactly a slam dunk.
What you don't want to have is everybody goes to the Tilt and they play the games and then they go get in their car and they go home.
Which means there has to be other attractions. Niffen says Macy's and JCPenney are good flagship stores to have, but believes local businesses are stepping in to fill the void left by national retailers that malls of the past would typically lean on.
What they've done is they've filled in the space where the nationals left and the locals could fill it in. And that's important. And if it gives it a local feel and people like that, and people do tend right now to like shopping locally, that can be a positive for them.
There are stories of local success in the mall, like Laced Up 815, who went from online to a small store at CherryVale to then doubling their store size, which they say is largely thanks to just how many people come to the mall, whether it's for their store or not.
For us, it was going to be the constant foot traffic. There's always someone in the mall. I mean, it's really people that don't even know about shoes kind of just see us now and come here and just like to look.
But with entertainment, 2 large department stores, and a foundation of small local stores, will CherryVale survive? The answer still isn't clear to Niffen, but what is clear to him is that the mall is making all the right decisions to give it a chance at a future.
I absolutely believe that conceptually they're doing the right thing. You have to have fun things to do at the mall to get people to come there and have dwell time.
Looking to bring customers in and keep them shopping for years to come. 413 Investigates. I'm William Ingalls.
And we know you have a lot of questions about the role crime has at the mall, as 2 shootings have happened outside the mall in the last 18 months, with one person being murdered back in April. But Niffen says shootings aren't what doom malls.
Customers aren't walking around going, oh, I'll get trapped in a mass shooting. What they're worried about is getting mugged in the parking lot or shoved down in the parking lot, or somebody rips their packages away and they fall down and get hurt. But if you have constant everyday crime, your traffic starts going downhill and it just keeps going downhill, and word of mouth gets out that this is an unsafe place and scary, and that's what kills it.
So what does everyday crime look like at the mall? We dug deeper, sending a Freedom of Information Act to the Cherry Valley Police Department for their call log from the mall for 2021 and 2022. The top crime during that time frame is theft and shoplifting, with 106 calls. That averages more than one call every week over that time. Next are burglary alarms with 71 calls. Following closely behind are the disorderly conduct calls with 65, and the next highest crime were domestic violence incidents with 16 calls.